Hi friends, my name is Sangram. So today let's understand how can we integrate Azure Data Factory with GitHub source control. So when multiple people work in a project, you want the development to happen in a collaborative manner. So GitHub tool will help you collaborate the entire Azure Data Factory. At the same time, we can perform a lot of code check-ins and the history is maintained. And yes, versioning is maintained due to check-ins. And then at any point of time, you can go back in time and restore a version. And like other source control tools, this also follows the concept of branching, where we have a branch called as master or main branch, which serves as the source of truth. And we don't allow users directly to do a code check-in on the master or the main branch. So what we do is we allow the users to create a copy into a new branch called as the user branch. And then now once they perform all the code check-ins in their user branch, they will raise a pull request to merge the code into master. So that is the concept of branching. Now let's go to the portal and understand how can we integrate Azure Data Factory with GitHub. So this is my existing data factory. And then if you click on author and monitor, you will go to this particular page. The landing page would be the data factory overview page. So here you see an option called as setup code repository. So either we can configure Git by using this option, or we can go to manage tab and then click on Git configuration to configure our Git with this data factory. So let's click on configure. And then we have to select the repository type. Either you can go for Azure DevOps Git or we can go for GitHub. So we'll choose the GitHub option for now. And then you need to select the GitHub account. So if you don't have an account now, so you can go to github.com, sign up with your personal email address, and then you can come to this particular page. Okay, so once we are in this GitHub page, so what we'll do is to create a repository. So click on new repository and then let's name it as demo bits repository, and then let it be public for now. And to initialize the repository, you have to add a readme file or add .gitignore or choose a license. So I will choose the first option. Without initializing with a file, we cannot create a repository. Let's go ahead and create the repository. So our repository with the name demo bits is created. Now let's go back to the data factory and choose our name of our account, followed by repository selection. This is the one which we just created, and the collaboration branch would be main, which is nothing but the branch which is here in the GitHub. And then the publish branch would be AD publish, which is the data factory version of our repository. And then we can select a root folder. In this repository, we can have multiple code base like on data factory, SQL, etc. So I'll just name it as data factory, and all my contents like dataset pipelines, link services, triggers, etc. will go to the data factory folder under this repository. And it is important to initialize this option, import existing resources to repository. This is when you are integrating with Git repository for the first time. All the contents of your data factory will move to data factory folder under repository. This is important. And then we want to import the resource into the main branch. Hence, we will choose the option use collaboration, which is nothing but the main branch. Let's go ahead and click on apply. So meanwhile, all the contents of this data factory is actually moving to this repository under data factory folder. And you see the repo is connected now. It means if I refresh this particular page, I should see all the contents of our data factory. And we see it here, right? We got a folder called as data factory. Under data factory, we have dataset, factory, link service, and pipeline. Just see if I click on dataset, I am able to see all the datasets which I have created in this data factory. Okay, and then click on save. And now let's understand the branching concept, right? So by default, we got the branch called as main. But as I mentioned, for a developer to start working on a particular branch, they have to take a copy of the main branch. How to take a copy of the main branch? You can click on new branch and let's name it as users branch. Okay, and click on save. And a copy of the main branch is made into the user branch. Now you can start working on this particular user branch. So I'm in the view of user branch. So let's say I want to put some description to a particular pipeline. Let me go to this pipeline, PL master incremental load, and let's say I'm adding a description. This pipeline is to load data into multiple tables incrementally. So this is the description I added to this pipeline. Let me click on save. So after I have clicked on save, it is actually in the user branch check-in. It has not gone into the master branch. Let's say I'm done with my development. What I have to do next? I have to raise a pull request. So click on create pull request. It will take you to the GitHub page itself, where before actually creating the pull request, you can see what are the changes that has been done. So I can clearly see that it is highlighted in green. At the same time, I can see whatever change I have done in my pipeline. And anything you add in your pipeline, dataset, etc., will be visible in green, and anything that you want to remove will be visible in red. Okay, so let's go ahead and create a pull request. Create pull request. So once this is done, so we can see that the pull request is created, and now it is up to the owners to review this particular pull request and then approve the merge. So the owner will come in and then they will see, okay, what are the files that are changed. They'll go here and they see that, okay, it's a description change, that a description has been added, and they're okay with the change, and they go back to the conversation and come back here and click on merge pull request, confirm merge. So only after merging, the code is actually going to the master branch. Now when I go to the master branch or the main branch, I should be able to see this change. And yes, I'm able to see the change. But then this has to also reflect in the data factory mode. So this is the Git mode and this is the data factory mode. So in a particular sprint, a few developers will be working on this data factory, right? Once the pull request is merged to the main branch, so the owner can come in here and click on publish. So as soon as you click on publish, you should do a publish first of all in the collaboration branch, which is the main branch, and this will take all the contents into ADF publish into the data factory mode. Click on OK. So once it is published, we'll go to data factory mode and we'll see the observation that this description will be present there also. Yeah, so publishing is completed and we are able to see this change here, isn't it? So that's the entire concept of data factory integration with GitHub. I hope you liked the video. Please like and subscribe. Happy learning.